Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Yuri. I'm from Callista, and today I will tell you about a module that we developed for Odoo. That's planning in Odoo. It's a planning tool to plan products that move from location to location to know where they are. So first, I will talk a little bit about the example that was given to us by our customer. Our customer has 5 cranes of 3 different types, and they always want to know where their cranes are and where they need to go. So if they have an assignment within a few weeks, they need to plan it beforehand, and they will need to know, okay, for example, on the 15th of October, we need to have a crane of that type at that location. And since that was not already possible within Odoo, we developed our own specific view to track all of these things. Also, in this view, they need to have an overview of the absences of their employees, so they know, okay, the operator of the crane isn't available, he's on sick leave, he can't be there, so they need to track that, and also the maintenance of the cranes. And the cranes usually they use them for a month and something broke, they need to be fixed, so they also need to know, okay, our crane isn't available because it's in the shop for maintenance. Some of the features that we put into this planning tool are that it's completely custom, but it links with the existing things of Odoo. So it's the product, location, and date. Those things are very important and are immediately visible in this tool. It is integrated with sales and invoicing based on the time spent on location, and also the logging of the hours on these planned items. So the operators of the cranes go to the worksite. They enter in the system, okay, I have worked at the site, I've departed at the depot at 6 o'clock in the morning, for example. We arrived at the site at 8 o'clock, we worked till 4 in the afternoon, and we went back to the depot and we arrived at 6. They can all enter these things and so much more, but because the time is limited, I can only show you so much. Now directly onto the demo. So this is our planning tool. As you can see, it's pretty good visible. There are a lot of different colors. I will explain them in a moment. First, you can see on the left are the few different cranes that they have. They have 2 cranes of one type with 2 different serial numbers, or in our case, license plates. Then 1 crane of a type, and so on. This is completely customizable. I will show that by creating a new crane. So you can see here, these are all the products that can be planned in the tool. I'm going to create a new one named tower crane number 2. For example, also here you can see here capacity and capacity prices. Our customer wanted to have different prices for different capacities. So we extended a little bit the working of the price list to make this possible. You can say here, okay, the default capacity is 50 tons lifting capacity of this crane. 50 tons, like that. And the price for this is 125 euros per hour, for example. And they need to work at the site for a minimum of 8 hours to receive this fee. If they work less than 8 hours, there will always be 8 hours invoice to the customer. You can mark this as standard. I can also add another type of unit of measure, because cranes can be used, for example, based on their lifting capacity or their width they can reach with their boom. So for example, for 45 meters reach, the customer pays 150 euros, and also there need to be 8 hours worked. Okay, now we have the definition of our crane and its prices. Now we need to add a few serial numbers to make it possible. I'm just going to type in TC2 for tower crane 2 number 1. You can also select the default operator. This is the default person that will be assigned to operate this crane. For example, Charles of our company. I will add a second one, TC2 number 2. This will be a default operator of Ivan. Save the product. Now we go back to the planning, and you can see on the bottom the 2 new items have been added. The 2 new cranes that we now own can also be planned. Now our customer calls and they want to make an appointment, and they'd say, okay, I need a crane. So we go to the sales orders, or the quotations for a start. We create a new sales order. For customer, for example, David. But it can be that we already have the working address where we need to work with the crane already in our system, but it's not linked to this customer. So we created the possibility to add any working address currently listed as your customer in Odoo. So we can say here, for example, we are going to work at the Zoo of Antwerp. It's linked with customer George, but you can see here we can choose it in our planning tool. Also, then we're going to plan the crane that we just created. So I search for tower crane. You don't need to specify a specific type. The system will determine if there is a crane free or yes or no. And it will first see if there is a crane available. If there isn't a crane available, it will add to the other, and you will see that it overlaps. I can specify the requested capacity. Very important, start and end dates. We will work from Wednesday the 4th, that's the day, till Friday the 6th. There's an option to determine if you want this assignment, if it's spent multiple weeks. Also, if you work in the weekends, you can check this box and the assignment will also be created during weekends. If it's not checked, it won't be. You can see here, you can define the start time, minimum hours per day worked, and so on. The price will also change, the unit price, based on our pricing rules that we determined. If I change the requested unit of measure to meters, and I say 50, yeah, that's too much, it doesn't know that. So, and I say 45, and you see the price changes to 150 euros per worked hour. I'm going to save it. I'm going to press reserve. This will now reserve the assignment in the planning. So you can see now it's just a draft. It's not already visible in the planning. If I go back to our quotation, I press the reserve button, it will reserve the item in the planning. So you can see it is marked with a gray state. This means that it is reserved. Also, you can hover over the box and you will get a small readout of the most important information linked to this assignment. These colors and everything, the states, all the different states can be configured. So you can see here we have all different states with their colors, and also the settings, which planned states are. There's a lot you can configure yourself. It mustn't be programmed, it's just configurable. So now, okay, we have the okay from our customer. They say, okay, yes, I want this assignment to be executed. So we go back to our sales order. And you press confirm sale. This will also confirm the assignment in our planning. So we know, okay, this is an assignment we need to execute. We can see in the planning, okay, it has changed states. It's changed to the yellow color. You can open every single assignment by double clicking on them in the menu, and then you can see the form with all the information. For example, what our customer is, where we need to ship to, what the linked order is. For example, I can click on this to go back to our sales order. And we can go back. You can also filter. For example, I only want to see everything from sale order 006. Okay, voila. Only the items of 006 are shown. Okay, we know we need to execute this assignment. Now our work people and our employees need to know they need to execute this task. Therefore, we provide the ability to print worksheets. You can see here, they have a lot of filtering opportunities. We just say, okay, start and end date of the assignment. It's the 4th is the start, and the end is the 6th, and it's for the Zoo of Antwerp. We're going to print the assignment. It takes a while, but it will print every assignment paper 3 times. So we have multiple copies. This was also a specific request from our customer. It's not something that is general. Small note, this was developed for a Dutch-speaking company, so most of the text is in Dutch. But you can see here the date at which needs to be worked, when they are going to leave, when they have arrived at the work site, etc. If they have taken a break, and then they need to sign it. to confirm, yes, I have done that. Also, any possible information that is required, like the capacity of the crane, which type of vehicle they need to take, the serial number of the vehicle need to take, and which operator is assigned. It's all there. Also, then the item changes color. You can see I have two items that also change color. That's because they are also for the Zoo of Antwerp. That's why they changed to a different state, meaning, okay, the worksheets have been printed, they are assigned, and okay, the worker knows, okay, I need to execute these assignments this week. When the work has been completed and the worksheet has been filled, we can go to log work to log the work of our operators. I will create a new one. For sale order 6, it automatically knows, okay, this is for the Zoo of Antwerp. And okay, it's planned product tower crane 2. It automatically knows, okay, we have one tower crane 2 that is used in this sales order. It's tower crane with the number 1. Which date? Okay, we take the 4th. It automatically fills in, okay, our operator Charles. We can say here, okay, we left at the depot at 6 o'clock in the morning. We started working there at 8. We ended working at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and we are back at the depot at 18 o'clock in the evening. This is if the crane can also stay at site, and the operator needs to be transported back to the depot. This is this specific column. You can say, okay, it took us 2 hours to drive back with our operator, but it's not used now. And he took a break of 30 minutes. Save the assignment. Okay, well, the work line. We had another one just for our invoicing to make it clear. Well, yeah, clearer that there are multiple days that are being invoiced. Say, so we go to the 5th. Still knows that this is the operator of that day. I will leave everything as is. Also, our customer calls, and on Friday we only need to work till 12 in the afternoon. We can click and drag on our assignment. We can move it around, and now it starts at 4. You can also see below the little information box changes when we move the assignment around. We can also double click and specify here how long it was. Okay, we started originally at 8, and we say, okay, now it's only lasts till 12 o'clock. So you can see the start time is still 8 o'clock, but the end time was decreased only until 12 o'clock, and the duration is now only 4 hours. Okay, so we have changed the assignment. We go back, and yeah, our operator has worked on it. You can see here, okay, it's back our sale order, our product, and the date is the 6th. You can see here it automatically changes the end time till 12 in the afternoon. I will change another time, the arrival back to the depot to 14 o'clock in the afternoon. It took 2 hours to transport our operator in the morning to the work site, and then no break has been taken. Save. Okay, we now know that this assignment is complete. We go back to our sales order, number 6. You can see here it is to invoice. So we know that the system knows, okay, the planning has been executed. We need to invoice this order. We can go to create invoice. Since I have completed all the assignments for this week, we can say, okay, for a week, any date in this week, and it takes the whole week to invoice. If not all assignments are complete, you can just remove the date and it will invoice everything it can invoice. Create and view invoices. You will see in a moment it created the invoice, and we see here a couple of lines. The first 3 lines are the 3 dates we worked at. Then for the transport, we had in total 6 hours of transport, 2 hours to the work site on Wednesday, 2 hours back from the work site on Wednesday, and 2 hours back from the work site on Friday. Also here, intermediate transport of the operator is also invoiced at for 2 hours. That's because in the last day on Friday we said, okay, our operator needs to be transported to the work site in the morning for 2 hours. When we go back to the planning, you will see the status has again changed to green, saying, okay, the assignment has been invoiced. Meaning, okay, this assignment is done and I don't need to worry about it anymore. And you see here two special states. One for that our default operator is on leave for this crane, and one that is in maintenance. You can see here I created these states here just with a name and a color specified. It also has a neat little color picker you can choose from. If I want to add these states, yeah, usually it's not via a sales order. So I just double click in the planning and immediately a form appears to enter all the information. So it's okay, I say from Monday morning till Monday evening at 23:20, the whole day eventually. 23:59:59. That's a whole day. Say, okay, default, it selects the reserved state. You can also say, okay, this is extra maintenance for this crane. No need to specify a linked order or a shipping address because this is not of importance. Click save. Boom, we see the item appear in our planning. You can also say, okay, we wanted to schedule this Monday and it's not going to work. Okay, we move it to Tuesday and the assignment has been moved. Also, it's possible to have duplicate entries in the planning. I will create here one now. It automatically fills out 4 hours work. Just click save. See, okay, this is great. I move it a bit to the left. Then when I refresh, it will make the item a little bigger, so you can see, okay, we have 2 overlapping items. We need to check this. Is this possible? Isn't this possible? Okay, I think most of the things I wanted to say I have said. You think about it. Oh yes, it's also possible to, when you don't have the crane yourself, but you hire another company to do this assignment for you. They have the crane they want to do. In this example, for example, we do not have this crane currently at that time in stock, but we do want to offer this to our customer. I will also link it to a sale order and back to sale order number 6. They need 2 cranes on that specific time. Click save. Okay, now it is linked with that sale order. If I go to the sale order, you will see, oh, there's a line been added with the price agreement. You can specify here if you want to change the price. It's possible. Also, if you want to make a single planning item recurring, just click here. It's a recurring event. You can specify, okay, it's recurring till. It always defaults to 1 day after the current end date. So, okay, split weeks. That's also a feature if you don't want all the assignments to be linked to each other. If you want to specify each week, if I'm okay, this group of assignments is for 1 week. For the next, you can do this. To demonstrate how it works with the weekend recurring, I will let the assignment last till next week Friday, and I will click recurring during weekends. Now I will click save and update future. So you can see here, it created an extra item here, but if I move to the right in the planning, you can see all these items have been created. The status reserved. Go back to today. You can also use the calendar at the bottom. If I want to move my planning to next week, Wednesday, you can click on the calendar and it automatically moves the whole calendar. If I want to say, okay, this assignment is also confirmed, click confirmed. And say again, save and update future. Notice I selected recurring split weeks. You can see now Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday the assignments changed state, but the one on next week Monday hasn't changed state. This is because they are not linked to each other; they are just separate. Okay. Okay, one other use case, of course, our customer says, okay, I don't need you to work in the weekends. We just can deselect this recurring during weekends. Say again, save and update future, and you see the 2 items in the weekend are removed as expected. Okay, I think that's the most important part of what I can show in the demo. If you have any questions, you can ask them now. Yes? Excuse me, I can't hear it. No, the model is not yet available in the App Store. You need to purchase this from us. We probably won't make it available in the App Store because every specific thing must be usually most companies have specific wishes, and we need to configure it a bit more to your liking. Yes? Yes, every product that you can assign during Odoo that you can put in a sales order can be planned. So it's all product templates exactly. It's all managed on a product template. So I can make as many products as I want. So if you say, okay, it's a car instead of a crane, perfectly possible. You probably won't use the capacity prices, for example. That's totally fine. Any more questions? Yes? This was completely custom developed. It's a custom view also. It's not a form view, it's not a tree view, it's not a pivot view. It's completely custom. We made this as a planning view specifically. It's all, yes, I have, we didn't use any libraries or widgets, we all wrote it ourselves. So to make it compatible, because originally I wanted to use the awesome calendar app from jQuery, but I couldn't use it because the jQuery version Odoo used at that time was a bit too low, so I couldn't use it. And, yeah, you can contact us and maybe we can work something out to make it available for you. Yes. Any more questions? Okay, thank you for your attention.